Rachel screamed tears through the silence of the apartment, raw and desperate, reverberating against the walls. She stands at the doorway, her arms tightly clutching her daughter Lily, her body shaking with the weight of the moment. Tom's face, filled with anger and betrayal, appears briefly as he storms past her, his eyes cold and filled with contempt. The door slams behind him, the noise echoing as the silence fills the room. Rachel's heart races as the sound of distant sirens pierces the air, growing louder by the second. She can feel the world around her shifting, everything spiraling out of control. Her thoughts swirl as she stands there, frozen, not knowing what to do next. The weight of betrayal presses down on her chest, suffocating her. Lily, unaware of the full magnitude of what's just happened, looks up at her with wide, confused eyes. Rachel whispers to her child the words barely a breath. "I will protect you, Lily. No matter what." But deep inside, she is terrified. The future feels like a fragile thread, and she has no idea how long it will hold. Rachel sits on the couch, her body heavy with exhaustion, as Lily curls up next to her. The weight of the day's events settles over her, but her mind is still racing. She keeps thinking back to everything that led up to this. The signs, the arguments, the broken promises. Tom's betrayal is the last straw. Her thoughts are consumed with the future, but there is one question that keeps echoing in her mind. How will she survive this? Every choice she has made, every sacrifice she's endured, has been for Lily. And now more than ever, that bond is what she clings to. But the uncertainty is suffocating. What if she fails her? Rachel takes a deep breath, trying to steady her racing heart. This battle has only just begun. She will fight for her daughter, even if it means facing her darkest fears. She has no choice now. The stakes are too high. The next few days blur together. Rachel goes through the motions of daily life, but everything feels different now. Her heart is weighed down with dread, knowing the battle ahead will be nothing like anything she's ever faced. She watches Lily, trying to maintain some sense of normalcy, but the fear of losing her is suffocating. At night, when the house is quiet, Rachel finds herself staring out the window, the weight of Tom's betrayal heavy on her chest. She had tried to keep things together for so long, but now it feels like everything is falling apart. Each new day is filled with uncertainty, and she's left wondering if she's strong enough to handle it all. But in those quiet moments she knows there's no turning back. She has to keep fighting for Lily, for herself, for the life they deserve. Rachel meets with her lawyer, Carter, in a small office. He speaks about the legal strategy, but Rachel can barely focus on the words. Her mind is consumed with the fear of what might come next, what Tom might do to take Lily away from her. The legal system, so far removed from the emotional battle she's waging, feels cold and impersonal. Carter's words about evidence and strategy are lost on her, drowned out by the overwhelming weight of the situation. All that matters is Lily. She has to find a way to keep her safe. She has to find a way to win. Later that evening, Rachel returns to the apartment. She closes the door behind her and leans against it for a moment, closing her eyes. The weight of the day presses heavily on her shoulders, but she can't stop now. She knows Tom will fight her every step of the way, and she can't afford to lose. Not when Lily's future is at stake. She takes a deep breath, looking at Lily, who is already tucked into bed. Rachel quietly walks over, brushing a strand of hair from her daughter's face. The love she feels for this child, her only remaining source of joy, fuels the fire inside her. She whispers a promise to herself, "I will not let you go." Rachel stares at the papers scattered across the kitchen table, her hands trembling slightly. The legal documents, all technical terms and courtroom jargon, feel like a foreign language. She barely understands what they mean, but she knows they are her lifeline. The fight for Lily's custody is becoming real now, and the thought of losing is unbearable. Tom's lawyer is ruthless, and the case is stacked against her. But Rachel has no choice but to fight. Every day feels like a new obstacle, a new layer of fear to peel away. She's no longer just a mother trying to make it through the day. She's become a warrior, facing a system that doesn't care about the emotional weight of the situation. Rachel grips the papers, her resolve hardening. She won't back down, no matter how hard it gets. For Lily's sake, she has to keep going. Her eyes shift to the photograph of Lily on the fridge, her bright smile reminding Rachel of everything worth fighting for. Rachel meets Maya at their favorite cafe, trying to act normal, but the heaviness in the air is impossible to ignore. Maya notices the tension in Rachel's posture immediately. "How's it going?" she asks, though she knows the answer. Rachel sighs, slumping in her seat, the weight of everything pressing down on her shoulders. "It's getting harder," she admits. "Tom's lawyer is relentless. Every time I think I've got a handle on things, it feels like something new comes up." Maya reaches across the table, offering a comforting touch. "You're stronger than you think," she says softly. Rachel nods, but the doubt in her eyes says otherwise. She doesn't feel strong. She feels like she's drowning, one legal battle at a time. But Maya's words, though simple, give Rachel a flicker of hope. She doesn't have to fight alone. Later that evening, Rachel finds herself walking down a familiar street, her thoughts consumed by everything that's happening. Her phone buzzes, and she glances at the screen. It's an email from Carter, her lawyer. Her stomach tightens as she opens it. It's the latest update on the case. Nothing good. Tom is pushing for full custody, and his lawyer is bringing up Rachel's past as ammunition. The words feel like a punch to the gut, reminding her of all the mistakes she's tried to bury. She stops in her tracks, taking a deep breath to steady herself. She can't afford to break down. Not now. Lily is counting on her. She swipes the phone off and tucks it into her bag, forcing herself to keep walking. There's no turning back. She won't let Tom win. Rachel's world feels like it's crumbling, and it's not just the custody battle. The emotional toll is starting to spill over into every aspect of her life. At work, her concentration is slipping. Her boss, a usually understanding woman, has noticed the shift. "Is everything okay, Rachel?" she asks, her voice tinged with concern. Rachel forces a smile, shaking her head slightly. "Just tired. It's been a rough few days." Her boss nods, but Rachel knows the look in her eyes, the pity, the judgment. She's not doing enough. She's failing. The guilt swells inside her, and for a brief moment, Rachel feels like she's losing herself, losing the grip she's worked so hard to maintain. But she can't let it show. Not yet. Rachel walks into the apartment, the door clicking softly behind her. The silence in the air feels suffocating, as if the weight of the last few days has settled into every corner. Lily's laughter from the living room breaks the tension, and Rachel's heart swells with love. But she knows the battle ahead will only intensify. As she walks into the living room, Lily runs up to her, smiling, her innocent face the only thing that keeps Rachel grounded. "Mommy, can we play?" Lily asks, her voice filled with joy. Rachel kneels down, pulling her into a tight embrace. "Of course, sweetie. Let's play." For a moment, she forgets everything. The custody battle, the legal fights, the stress. In Lily's embrace, Rachel finds her strength again. She won't lose her. Not to Tom. Not to anyone. Rachel is exhausted. She hasn't slept properly in days, the weight of the custody battle pressing down on her every moment. Every piece of evidence, every phone call, every meeting with her lawyer feels like it takes more from her. As much as she tries to focus on Lily, the looming fear of losing her is never far behind. She tries to make breakfast, but her hands shake as she cracks the eggs. The kitchen feels smaller, more confining. Her mind races with what-ifs. What if the judge doesn't believe her? What if Tom's lies win? These thoughts invade her every waking hour, making it harder to focus on anything else. Yet when Lily bursts into the kitchen, running to her with a smile, the weight momentarily lifts. "Mommy, I made this for you." Lily holds out a drawing of a rainbow, and for a second, the world outside their little home fades away. It's moments like this that remind Rachel why she has to keep fighting. For Lily. Rachel spends the next few hours in the living room, pacing. The silence of the apartment feels suffocating, and she can't stop running the case over in her head. She's seen Carter, her lawyer, but the meeting didn't go as well as she had hoped. The other side has more than enough ammunition to keep her on the defensive. She feels herself sinking, the pressure of it all making it harder to breathe. She wonders if anyone understands, truly understands, how much she has to lose. She wants to pick up the phone, call someone, anyone, but there's no one left who hasn't already tried to help. She feels utterly alone. As she looks out the window, a flash of red catches her eye. It's the same old truck that Tom used to drive, parked across the street. Her heart sinks as she watches it, knowing that Tom is out there, waiting to make his next move. She takes a deep breath and turns away. She can't focus on him now. She can't afford to. Rachel finally sits down at her kitchen table again, the papers from Carter spread out in front of her. She stares at them, trying to make sense of the legal jargon, but her mind keeps drifting back to Tom. The truck outside. His reappearance. She tries to push the thoughts away, but they linger like a shadow. She pulls out her phone and starts texting Maya. Can we talk? She waits, the screen flashing a few times before the message is sent. She waits some more. It feels like the whole world is in suspension, everything teetering on the edge. When Maya finally responds, Rachel breathes a small sigh of relief. The words are simple, but full of concern. Of course, I'm here. Rachel feels a twinge of gratitude for her friend, but the fear never leaves. She knows she has to pull herself together for Lily's sake. She has to fight. For her daughter. For her future. Rachel sits on her couch later that night, the TV flickering in the background, but her mind is elsewhere. Lily is already asleep, and Rachel finds herself staring at the photo of her daughter on the mantelpiece. She remembers when this picture was taken. A sunny afternoon, Lily's laughter filling the air, her small hand clutching a balloon. It seems like a lifetime ago. The world now feels much darker, more complicated. But Rachel knows one thing for sure. She will not let that photo, that memory of happiness, slip away. She won't let Tom or anyone else take it from her. The next few days will be harder than anything she's faced, but she will fight every step of the way. Not just for herself, but for Lily. She will be the mother Lily deserves, no matter what it takes. Rachel stands up, glancing at the clock. Getting late, but sleep eludes her. The battle isn't over. It's just beginning. The next morning, Rachel stands in front of the bathroom mirror, splashing water on her face. Her reflection stares back at her, but the woman she sees feels like a stranger. The exhaustion is visible now, the toll of the last few weeks etched into her features. But Rachel refuses to be broken. She takes a deep breath, and for the first time in days, she sees herself clearly. She's not just a woman fighting for her child, she's a mother who will stop at nothing to protect her daughter. She straightens her shoulders, wipes the water from her face, and walks out of the bathroom. The day ahead will be difficult, but it's a day she has to face. For Lily. Rachel stands tall, her resolve firmer than ever. The battle is only just beginning, and she's ready. Rachel's heart pounds as she stares at the email on her phone. The subject line is innocuous enough: custody case update. She clicks it open, her hands shaking. As she reads, a sense of dread washes over her. The update from her lawyer, Carter, is worse than she expected. Tom has filed a motion for emergency custody, citing Rachel's unstable living conditions as a primary concern. Rachel's breath catches in her throat. The room feels smaller, the air heavier. She's known Tom would fight dirty, but she never imagined he'd go this far. The accusations are baseless, but Rachel knows how the system works. The judge could believe them, could see her as the unfit parent. The weight of her responsibility crashes down on her, threatening to crush her resolve. She feels the panic rising, but she forces herself to breathe. No matter what, she can't let Lily feel the fear she's experiencing. She has to stay strong for her daughter. With a clenched jaw, Rachel types out a reply to Carter, asking him for next steps. The battle is far from over. Rachel meets Carter the next day in his office. The cold, sterile environment does nothing to ease her growing anxiety. As Carter discusses the next steps, Rachel feels a sense of disconnection. His words blur into the background as she processes the implications of Tom's move. Carter's advice is clear: gather evidence, stay calm, and prepare for a long battle. But Rachel's mind races. How can she stay calm when her daughter's future is on the line? How can she fight against a man who will stop at nothing to tear their family apart? She tries to focus, nodding along, but the panic is bubbling under the surface. Carter hands her a folder full of documents to sign, and Rachel feels a knot tighten in her stomach. She's caught in a whirlwind, and she's not sure how much longer she can keep up the fight. But for Lily, she will. That evening, Rachel takes Lily to the park, hoping to escape the suffocating tension of the apartment. The sight of her daughter laughing, running through the playground, brings a flicker of peace to Rachel's heart. But it doesn't last. The moment Lily climbs to the top of the jungle gym, Rachel's gaze snaps to the street, where a familiar figure stands by his truck. Tom. Her stomach churns as she watches him, feeling the weight of his presence like a physical blow. She wants to look away, to pretend he's not there, but she can't. Tom catches her eye and gives her a half-hearted wave, but it's the coldness in his gaze that cuts through Rachel. He's not here to make peace, he's here to intimidate, to remind her that he's still in control. She forces herself to smile at Lily, but the smile feels brittle, forced. The game is far from over. Rachel's world continues to unravel as Tom's legal team pushes for more aggressive tactics. The calls, the emails, the motions, it's all becoming overwhelming. She starts to question herself, her ability to handle it all. Every decision feels like it could tip the scale one way or the other. At night, she lies awake in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering if she's made the right choices. What if she's not enough for Lily? What if she loses her? The fear gnaws at her, creeping into every corner of her mind. She doesn't want to admit it, but she's scared. Scared of losing the one thing she loves more than anything in this world. She can't let that happen. But the weight of the fight is wearing her down. She needs a breakthrough, something to help her regain her footing. Without it, the battle feels impossible. Rachel meets with her lawyer, Carter, again, this time at a coffee shop. Her fingers tap nervously on her cup as Carter lays out the next phase of the legal strategy. But the words seem distant, as if they're coming from someone else's life. She feels detached, as if she's watching herself from afar. The fear still lingers, but there's something else now, a determination. Carter talks about hiring an investigator, gathering evidence, and preparing for the next court date. It feels like too much to handle, but Rachel knows she has no choice. The stakes are too high. She has to find a way to turn this around, to win. For Lily. The thought steadies her. She will not let her daughter down. The courtroom is stark and silent, each word of the proceedings amplified in the cold air. Rachel, aged 32, sits in the witness stand, her hands clenched tightly together, her knuckles white. The lawyer for the other side stands up, his voice sharp and calculating, accusing her of being an unfit mother. The courtroom feels like it's closing in on her. She wants to fight back, to refute every claim, but the words catch in her throat. It's as if she's been stripped bare, her every weakness exposed. Her lawyer, Carter, sits beside her, his face calm, but Rachel can see the worry in his eyes. She can feel the tension, the weight of every decision she's made weighing down on her. The stakes couldn't be higher. Her child's future is on the line. The other lawyer's accusations are venomous, but Rachel knows she can't let it defeat her. She has to stand tall, despite the flood of emotions threatening to drown her. As the lawyer finishes speaking, Rachel takes a deep breath, knowing that the next few minutes will define everything. As the hearing continues, Rachel struggles to keep her composure. Her mind keeps flashing back to the moments with Lily, the peaceful afternoons they spent together, the love they shared. How did things get so complicated? Every accusation feels like a blow to her heart, but she can't let it show. Her eyes flick to the gallery, where she sees Lily sitting with Maya, their faces filled with concern. Rachel's heart aches for her daughter, who deserves so much more than this. The opposing lawyer calls witnesses one after another, all testifying about Rachel's supposed instability. The weight of their words presses on Rachel, and for a moment, she feels the ground beneath her feet shift. She tries to steady herself, but the fear creeps in, threatening to unravel her resolve. She's losing ground. She can feel it. The idea of losing Lily is too much to bear. But she can't give up. She can't. The courtroom is silent as Rachel takes the stand. Carter nods at her, his silent support pushing her to speak. She takes a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. The words come slowly at first, but then they start to flow, fueled by the love she has for her daughter. She talks about the life they've built together, the struggles she's faced, and the sacrifices she's made. Her voice shakes at times, but she presses on. "I'm not perfect," she admits, "but I will never stop fighting for her." The tears she's been holding back begin to fall, but she doesn't wipe them away. For the first time in the entire trial, Rachel feels like she has control over her own story. She's not just a victim of circumstance. She's a mother, and she will fight to the end. Rachel walks out of the courtroom, the weight of the day's events hanging over her. She can feel the eyes of the spectators on her as she exits, but she blocks them out. The air outside is cold, the wind biting at her skin, but Rachel barely notices. She wants to cry, to let the emotions she's been holding back spill out, but she can't. Not yet. She can't show weakness. She takes a deep breath, trying to ground herself in the reality that this fight isn't over. The court date may have ended, but there's still so much more to come. As she walks toward her car, Maya joins her, offering her a comforting presence. "You did great," Maya says softly. Rachel nods, her expression tight. "It's not over yet," she replies, her voice firm. The road ahead is long, but Rachel has taken the first step toward winning the fight for her daughter. She won't stop now. The final day of the custody trial arrives. The atmosphere in the courtroom is tense, the air thick with anticipation. Rachel sits, her heart hammering in her chest, as the judge prepares to give their ruling. Her hands are folded tightly in her lap, the sweat on her palms betraying her calm exterior. The moment feels like it's stretched into infinity, every second dragging on. When the judge finally speaks, Rachel's heart nearly stops. The ruling is in her favor. The custody battle is over, and Lily will stay with her. For a moment, everything goes silent. The weight of the decision doesn't hit her immediately. It's only when she turns to see Lily's face, smiling brightly from the gallery, that the tears come. Rachel doesn't try to stop them. This victory isn't just hers. It's for Lily. It's for the life they will continue to build together. The battle is won, but Rachel knows there will still be challenges ahead. But for now, they can breathe. They can move forward. Rachel stands in her kitchen, staring out the window, but her mind is far from the quiet street below. The victory she felt after the trial is starting to feel hollow. The weight of the past few months is taking its toll on her. Every day has been a battle. And now that it's over, the aftermath feels like a void. She's won custody of Lily, but there's still a storm brewing within her. The emotional scars from Tom's betrayal, the lies, and the endless legal battles are still fresh. She doesn't know how to move forward, or if she's even capable of feeling like herself again. The house is quiet. Too quiet. Lily's laughter, which used to fill the rooms with joy, now feels distant. Rachel hasn't had a moment to herself in what feels like forever, and she's starting to realize just how much she's been holding in. She needs to breathe, to take a step back, but she doesn't know how. The weight of everything feels like it's crushing her, and all she wants is peace. Lily comes running into the kitchen, her face lighting up with a bright, innocent smile as she sees her mom. Rachel's heart aches when she sees her daughter, a reminder of everything she's fought for. But she feels disconnected, like she's watching herself from the outside. Lily's laughter should bring joy, But all Rachel can think about is how tired she is, how much she's given, and how little of herself is left. She tries to smile back, but the exhaustion in her eyes betrays her. "Mom, can we go to the park today?" Lily asks eagerly, her eyes full of hope. Rachel doesn't want to let her down, but the thought of leaving the house feels overwhelming. Still, she nods, trying to push through her fatigue. "Sure, sweetie," she says, her voice a little softer. But inside, she wonders how much longer she can keep this up. Rachel and Lily walk through the park, but Rachel feels like she's walking in a haze. The vibrant colors of the trees, the sound of children playing, the crisp air. It all feels distant, as if she's watching from behind a glass. Lily runs ahead, her laughter echoing in the air, but Rachel's smile feels forced. She watches her daughter, but her mind keeps wandering back to the courtroom, the legal battle, and Tom's manipulative tactics. It all feels like a blur. She thought winning custody would bring relief, but now that it's over, it's like a piece of her is still stuck in the fight. She watches Lily play on the swings, but the joy she should be feeling is gone. Instead, there's only a hollow feeling, like something is missing. She tries to focus on the present, on Lily, but the weight of everything she's been through lingers in her chest. That evening, Rachel sits alone in the living room, the house now quiet. Lily is tucked into bed, and the silence feels overwhelming. She thought she would feel relief, but instead, she feels like she's lost something. The battle is over, but the emotional toll lingers, and she's not sure how to move forward. She picks up the phone, thinking of calling Maya, but hesitates. She doesn't want to burden her friend, doesn't want to admit how deeply the weight of the battle has affected her. The exhaustion is more than physical, it's emotional, spiritual. She feels empty, as though the fight has drained her of everything she once was. She looks around the room, the stillness now suffocating. Rachel stands up, walks to the window, and gazes out into the night. She wonders if this is what victory feels like, the hollow feeling of having won but lost something in the process. The next day, Rachel wakes up early. She lies in bed for a moment, taking in the quiet of the morning, and then gets up to start her day. The fatigue is still there, but there's something else now, a flicker of determination. The weight of the past few months hasn't disappeared, but Rachel knows she has to keep moving. She can't stay stuck in this limbo forever. Lily needs her, and Rachel needs to be there for her, not just as a mother, but as herself. She still feels the scars of the battle, but she also knows that she has the strength to heal. It won't happen overnight, but she's ready to start. Rachel stands in front of the mirror, looking at her reflection. The woman staring back at her is different from the one who walked into the courtroom months ago. She's stronger, even if she doesn't feel it. The journey isn't over, but she's ready to face whatever comes next. The quiet of the apartment is finally broken by the soft patter of rain against the window. Rachel sits on the couch, gazing out at the gray sky, the storm reflecting her internal turmoil. It's been a few weeks since the custody battle ended, and she's slowly finding her balance again. But the road to recovery is long. Every so often, her mind drifts back to the chaos of the trial, the pain, the fear, and the moments when she wasn't sure she could keep going. But she did. She fought, and she won. Her eyes drift to Lily's room, where she can hear her daughter softly singing to herself. For the first time in what feels like forever, Rachel smiles. The storm may still be brewing outside, but inside, there is peace. A peace that she fought for, a peace that she earned. The next chapter of their lives has begun, and while it will come with challenges, Rachel knows they are ready. They will be okay. Lily runs into the living room, her laughter echoing in the quiet space. Rachel's heart swells with love as her daughter jumps onto the couch beside her. "Mommy, let's play," Lily says, her face lit with excitement. Rachel laughs softly, brushing a lock of hair behind her daughter's ear. For a brief moment, all the worry, the fear, and the uncertainty of the past year fade away. It's just them. Together. And for the first time in a long time, Rachel feels the weight of the world lift from her shoulders. She looks at Lily, her eyes softening. "Of course, sweetie," Rachel says, her voice filled with a warmth she hasn't allowed herself to feel in months. She can't protect her daughter from every hardship, but she can be there for her every step of the way. And that's enough. The following weekend, Rachel and Lily take a walk in the park, the air fresh from the rainstorm earlier in the week. It's one of those rare moments when everything feels right. As they walk hand in hand, Rachel notices how much Lily has grown, her long legs, her confident stride. She's not the same little girl she was when all of this began. Rachel smiles, a bittersweet feeling tugging at her heart. The past year has been filled with hardship, but it has also been filled with growth. They've both changed, and while Rachel sometimes still feels the weight of the battle, she also feels stronger than she ever has before. As they reach the swing set, Lily runs ahead, her laughter ringing through the air. Rachel stands back for a moment watching her, and in that quiet moment, Rachel knows that this is what they fought for. This simple, beautiful life together. And she's ready to embrace it fully, without looking back. Later that night, Rachel sits at the dining table, a cup of tea in front of her, her thoughts wandering. She's come so far in such a short time, and yet it still feels like the weight of the past lingers in small, quiet ways. The scars are still there, not visible but deep within her. She's learned that healing doesn't happen all at once. It's a process. But she's learning to trust herself again, to trust that she's enough. The fear that once ruled her heart is starting to fade, replaced by something stronger, resilience. She thinks of all the women like her facing battles of their own, and she feels a sense of connection. No one fights alone. As she looks up at the clock, she notices the time. It's late, but she feels no rush. For the first time in a long time, Rachel feels that peace isn't something she has to chase. It's here, right in front of her, and it's enough. The days continue to pass, each one a little brighter than the last. Rachel and Lily, side by side, are learning how to embrace their new life together. There are still challenges ahead, but Rachel knows they can face them. She's no longer the same person she was when this all began. She's stronger, more self-assured, and more certain of what matters most. The court battle, the betrayal, the fear, they will always be part of her story, but they no longer define her. She's rebuilt herself from the inside out, and in doing so, she's given Lily the stability she deserves. As they sit together on the couch one evening, Lily rests her head on Rachel's shoulder, and Rachel whispers softly, "We're stronger now, and we'll never stop fighting." The words are simple, but they carry a deep truth. No matter what life throws their way, they will face it together. And that is all they need.